okay, so this what happened. So we get in the courtroom, and Kathy Todd is a prosecutor, and there was a white guy with her named Bot, and then there was 3 other women. So it was like 5 people, like on Megan's side, sitting off to the side, right? And then they let all of the people in media in and all that kind of bullshit. So they start the prosecution do opening statements. Dance, bitch, dance. That's the first thing you say.
Literally. The first words?
The first words in the opening statements were, dance, bitch, dance.
Oh, they think this law and order. I ain't gonna lie to you.
They do. They do think this shit law and order, but ain't no fucking stabler. There was some bald-headed niggas in the jury. So then they said, after they said dance, bitch, dance, they played the audio from the ring camera, the gunshots.
Oh, they had the ring camera footage?
At the ring. But the footage that they've been teasing us with for 2 years ain't got shit on it but the audio. They don't have no damn footage, no visual.
Wait, do you see Tory, like, doing anything?
No. These people been teasing us with this idea of footage, and they have footage of a bitch living room, and you can hear the shots outside. You don't see nothing but the bitch living room.
So there was pump faking?
Yes.
Holy shit.
So you hear 5 gunshots. So then they played the piece of the voicemail where Tory said, you know, you may never speak to me again, but I'm sorry. And I was drunk, but that ain't no excuse. And so then they throw Megan picture up there.
Hold on real quick. Does Tory said, I'm sorry for what I did to you, or I'm sorry for, does he admit anything in the apology?
Let me tell you something. Not only did he not admit to shooting her, we finally got to hear the full voicemail.
Yeah.
Full call with him and Kelsey. And wait till you hear what the fuck was said on the body cam footage.
What?
I'm hyperventilating. Tory said, Kelsey talking about, I'm hyperventilating. Oh my God. Tory said, they don't know what happened. It'll be okay. Okay, let me tell you who to me made a bigger impact. And nothing I'm gonna say is biased. These is facts. Y'all know who I'm rooting for, but these facts. The defense did. Simply because the thing that keep on tripping up Megan and her people is the omission of facts. When you leave these things out, and then the defense is able to come in and paint that picture, you looking crazy. And that's what happened.
Did the picture include anything that happened at the party?
Yes. They mentioned an incident that took place at the party. They didn't go into details, but they said that Kylie specifically asked Megan to get the fuck out. Not in those words, but she said it's time for you to go. The only prosecution said in opening statements was that she did have a sexual relationship with him. What was sad was nobody moved when he said it. Like,
really?
Fucking knew. Nobody. There was nothing. It was, everybody kept going. Nobody.
Really?
Yeah, not that. When it came out that Megan allegedly, fucked the baby and Ben Simmons behind Kelsey, that got a little reaction. The people said, what?
That's crazy. That interview with Gayle King, she said she never had sex with Tory. Now we're finding out the prosecutor, who is going to call her as a witness tomorrow, is saying, oh, nah, she did.
Yeah. Oh, in opening statements, they slid in enough that and then tried to say like they had sex, like put it like that, like a sexual relationship. Nothing that would make you think it was ongoing, but they did mention it. Tory's people made it very clear sex was being had, child. With both the ladies. Officer Diaz was the first witness, canvassed the area. Let me tell you what was wrong with his testimony. Yeah. What was wrong with that fucking testimony was the fact that they used pieces of paper instead of the placards that you would use to accurately label things. And they did not label these things correctly or make a note of what they wanted to use as evidence, which was a blood trail. They claimed that there was a blood trail up the street, but when they were asked by the defense, okay, well, did you label this properly? And could you tell us like the blood trail, and could you lay that out for us? No, the answer was no. When I tell you they cut corners, every witness that got up, except for the detective that solely was up there to talk about the phone call Tory made from jail, the defense was able to say, did you do this the way that y'all were supposed to do it? No, not necessarily.
Really?
The evidence that got packaged, but when it came to those crime scenes, no, they didn't, and they had to outright say no. And I just don't understand how Megan's story makes sense once we saw pictures, because it was casings up in people's, on their property, like in their backyard, like by their cars, not in
Really?
the bullet casings were found on the property. A nail was in the middle of the street, and the chain and shit was in the middle of the street. The shell casings were not sitting in the middle of the damn street. So how the hell did Tory, how the fuck the shell casings that made it from the car all the way up in somebody's goddamn backyard? A witness did say that they tried to say that after Tory shot Megan, that Megan hobbled up the street. Kelsey went to aid her. Tory came over to see what happened. Kelsey approached because she didn't know what was going on, and they started fighting. And he started attacking her. But we saw photos from them getting booked and questioned rather than booked. Kelsey's hair was not out of place. They said Kelsey said that he pulled her hair, and she didn't really remember too much else, but that it was physical. He got physical with her. They must have fucking forgot that Megan's friend went online and said, before you get your chain snatched again, and shit like that. They must have forgot that Kelsey said, got my chain snatched. But they must have forgot that shit, because y'all blaming Tory for it. But you gave that credit to your bitch when you acted like she beat up Kelsey, when they were threatening her and cyberbullying her. And when they showed us the photos from Kelsey at the station, Kelsey didn't have a hair out of place. So how the fuck did Tory pull your damn hair, pull you by your hair, and do anything to you? Your hair wasn't fucked up. And this was right after. They took them right to the station.
Obviously, we know that Meg's initial statement, she said she was cut by glass. Later on, she then accused Tory. What did Kelsey say? We know what Kelsey said in a text message to the bodyguard, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
But do we know what Kelsey told the police?
Kelsey said that she wanted representation, but the prosecution said, the way the prosecution was talking, they was talking like Kelsey will be taking Megan's side 100%. They said Kelsey will tell y'all that Tory shot Megan, and that's what happened.
Kelsey was being accused by Meg of taking quote unquote
Mm-hmm.
payoff from Tory. Well, if she's now trying to say Tory shot Meg, and she never said it before, and she was taking payoff, the only thing that could make me believe that she, who hasn't talked to Meg Thee Stallion in 2 years, is now taking Meg's side, is the prosecution, aka the DA, saying, yo, Kelsey, Tory is about to give a good ass case that says he ain't do it, and then everybody's gonna say we got to charge you. Your only option here is to say Tory did it, and if you say Tory did it, we'll give you an immunity case. I really think this is going to nothing. You tell me what you think. I think
to be the case, but they do have Kelsey on the phone call when Tory did call her. Like I said, we got to hear the full phone call. And she said, you know, and this is in an hour, 5 hours later, Megan's team is all over this. You know, Megan's team already know they're all over this, literally.
That's
and
what
then,
the phone call said?
Yeah. Let me go. I can quote it. I can say the whole phone call for sure. Look at everything. Hello. Hey, y'all got out? Y'all good? Megan at the hospital? And then Kelsey say, I'm outside the hospital. Tori say, what hospital? She say, Cedar, something like that. He said, I know she probably ain't gonna want to talk to me again, but I was drunk. I ain't understand, you know, what I did, what I was doing. I'm sorry. And then she said,
hey, who said that? Who said? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kyle.
Okay.
And so then she was like, there's a lot that happened. And he was like, yeah, a lot did happen. You know, I feel crazy. He said, what happened, you know, but I can't take it back. Who the fuck would say that about a shooting? When we got to hear the full context of the call, it absolutely sounded like, damn, I shouldn't have let the cat out the bag. Like, I'm sorry that shit came out. Like, it absolutely sounded like that. Okay, well, on the phone call, how about Kelsey is sitting at the hospital after she done got detained in question. Megan was in the hospital. They whisked her off to New York. She didn't even see that fucking girl. Kelsey sitting outside. Megan is fucking gone to New York. So Kelsey says, well, I was already fucked up by the time y'all. They say Kelsey was passed the fuck out when Tory got there. That's how drunk she was. She was passed out, child.
Wait. Slow it down. So Kelsey at the event.
At Kylie's house was passed the fuck out by the time Tory even got there. Passed the fuck out, drunk. So Tory was like, I don't even remember what we was fighting about. This on the call. And Kelsey said, I was already fucked up by the time you got there. So then Tory say, you got my security number, Quan? And you know, y'all, you know, he said, you figure out a way to, you know, bail me out. I ain't got his number. And so Kelsey was like, well, it's a report already out. And he was like, about what? And then she was like, about the incident, but it ain't naming no names. But she said verbatim, Megan's team is on top of this. Literally what she said. This was 5 hours after everything took place. That's what she said. And Tory said on the jail call, I'm the only one that's gonna get backlash. You not. He said Megan not. I'm the only one. He was like, but I'm sorry that it happened. You know, and okay, but why? I'm gonna ask you this: why a bitch that feel like you just shot her best friend answer the phone for you? Because you know you do a jail call and say this is such and such. You answer the fucking phone. Told Tory the hospital that the girl was in. Okay, and then Tory said bail me out. That hoe didn't say no. She basically said, well, media already on. And then she said, you know, the longer you sit in there, the bigger it's gonna get. So it's like she would have, seemed like to me, but didn't want to be tied to it like that. But she verbatim said, I make sure I wrote that down. Megan's team is on top of this. Within 5 hours, placed at 9:05 a.m. that day. Everybody got tested for gunshot residue and DNA on the gun, but Megan. The driver, Kelsey, and Tory got tested for gunshot residue and DNA on the gun, not Megan. But you want to know something very interesting? The gun had 4 different types of DNA on it. 3 people got tested. Who the last motherfucking one it could be? We got traces of 4 different people DNA, but only 3 people got tested and that came back. Okay. So
no, this is crazy. Hold on. We know Kelsey will be taking a stand. Megan's taking a stand tomorrow. We don't know if Tory's taking a stand, but maybe he does. What about the driver? He's the 4th person. Have you heard anything about the driver?
They have put his picture up and they have mentioned him. Neither side has placed blame on him. They said that a witness saw him try to break up the fight. They ain't saying much about his ass at all, which is like, okay, well, but they didn't throw his picture up there, full name and everything. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell he had. Megan bodyguard, Justin big ass. How about the next damn day? Tory still had Megan shit in the car, right? They say Justin went to Tory's house. They say Justin went to Tory's house and they talked about it. And Justin gonna testify because Justin claims that Tory said that he shot the damn girl. Now, why? Now, you mean to tell me that that's what Tory told you? But you was on Instagram, somebody ain't no little nigga about to shoot nobody around me. You went and saw a nigga and ain't do nothing? You went to his house to go pick up Megan's shit, and he confessed to you. That's his claim, that he confessed that he shot that damn girl. And you just left, and that was it? And let me tell you what the gun was. The gun was in the front seat under a Louis Vuitton bag. It was female shit in the front seat and in the back seat. The gun was up under. You could see it, but it was under a purse and some damn papers and shit. They showed us a picture of her left foot from the hospital. They said that the doctor gonna get up there and talk. They said they had to remove the shit from her foot because she would have had constant pain and it could have moved or caused an infection. They didn't show us no damn x-ray. They showed us a PowerPoint presentation, but showed us what the report said. We saw no x-ray. They showed us a different picture of Megan's damn foot, and then they showed us the stitches.
Wow.
They didn't show anything that would conclusively make me feel like there were bullet fragments in her foot. But I think they don't want to get into the fact that they're missing the bullet fragments, which I'm sure we'll get into. But they did not, they kept it real. Well, she said in the medical report said, and they showed the foot. Why wouldn't you show the jury an x-ray? Show us the bullet fragments in the foot. The detective that got fired from the LAPD, he went on record and said that the bullet fragments are missing.
Fuck.
And back in December 2021, he said that.
I heard some report that says there's nobody but Meg that will actually attest to that statement before the shots. There's no witness. What's this dance bitch dance shit? Because that's a narrative that they're hoping to convince the mass public who are tuning in.
You know something? They brought that up, and the Tory's people did try to speak on the fact that no one else heard this, right? It was an objection was called, and they said, child, hearsay. And maybe they'll bring it up again later, but they did not let a conversation start or let anything. They did not let him dive into the fact that she was the only person that heard that shit. Kelsey and them were unaware. I don't think they was thinking about the fact that cops got their body cams on at all times, and they were standing around, and that's how they picked up Kelsey sitting up saying, you know, I'm hyperventilating, like I'm freaked the fuck out, I'm finna pass out. And Tory says, you know, it's okay. They don't know what happened. It's okay. Everything will be all right. And then told the people, you know, I was just trying to protect my girl. That's it. So my whole thing is, I think we should be able to hear those things. I think that they should be able to talk about those things.
Wow.
It outlined exactly what we talked about from the transcripts. That Megan them then told the damn driver, I left something in Kylie's house. Take me back. Take me back. After she done got her ass, after they told her that something happened at the house. We don't know what yet.
Wait. Who said they left something?
Megan.
Really?
She said, oh yeah, that's what they laid out. They said Megan was acting a damn fool. Something happened. They haven't outlined it yet, but was refusing to leave without Tory. Refusing. They
refusing
go out
to leave Kylie's house?
Refusing to leave Kylie's house unless Tory leave Kylie's house too. Okay, so they go over there and do that shit. She get in the car with Quan, the driver. Her and Kelsey, they almost back in Megan's house. And Megan say, no, take me back, take me back. He was like, no. She was like, well, I left something. So then he finally go back and take them back to the house. And they said Megan go up in there clowning again. And the driver had to go get Tory. Because the whole time that he done took Megan them, Tory in the pool with Kylie. Yeah. He was still at
Wait.
For one, the detective that got up, he was the fifth witness. And he did a good job. He ain't listened to the shit but a week ago. They said, how many times have you heard the jail call? And he said, I listened to it a few times over the past week. He said, that's the first time you heard the call? He said, yeah. Last week. Last week is the first time the damn detective had even listened to the fucking jail call. They said, well, were there any other calls? And he said, no other calls, worth mentioning. He said, what that mean? He said it was about 6 calls, but the only person that answered the phone was Kelsey. The defense, when they did their opening statements, they said all of this is about jealousy. That's what they said. They said, don't pass judgment. Listen to all of the evidence. They said Megan, Kelsey, and EJ, were there. And that Megan invited Tory to the pool party. They said when Tory got there, Kelsey was passed out drunk and everybody was drunk. That's when they mentioned that Corey was going to testify. They said Tory was hanging with Kylie and that Kelsey came over and that something happened. And they say Megan got pissed. Kelsey woke up and she go over to Tory and Kylie. Something happens. Megan gets upset. She want to go. Okay? Now she want to leave. She insists on leaving with Tory. Tory say, I just got here, but I'm going to leave her. They say EJ and Kelsey told Megan, your hair fucked up. You're a mess. Let's go. You need to leave. And then, so then Tory was like, yo, Jaquan, that's the driver. You could take her. You could take them home. And so that's when Kelsey, Megan, and Jaquan got in the car to leave the first time to take Megan and them home. So Tory still at the house with Kylie. Okay, so then EJ leave. Okay, that's when she was like, oh, I left something at the house. I need to go back. And then so they said that she got back and she was mad and she was drunk and that she created a scene and that Kylie said, you got to go. And she wouldn't leave. And so that Tory was like, well, let me just leave because she won't leave unless I leave before this keeps on escalating. That's the only way she said she's going to leave. That's what she wanted. She wanted him to go. So that's when he left with her. Megan was in the seat that the gun was ultimately found in front of.
Wait.
So let me tell you what the defense said happened in the car. So they say she was arguing with Tory and that Kelsey jumped in the argument to defend Megan.
Really?
Okay, so everybody arguing. So this is when Tory's people say that Tory said, do you know you backing up your girl like she ain't fucking me behind your back?
So Tory kicked it off like, yo, exposing the type shit.
And that is what, and let me tell you something, when you hit a fucking jail call, when Tory is apologizing, it all make perfect sense. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have, damn. He said I was drunk. I would never move like that. Damn, my bad. And I can't take back what happened. It happened, but.
Oh, Tory was messy. He brought an issue that wasn't an issue at that point.
Yeah.
And
go
ahead.
The defense says this is what kicked off the whole thing. They said Tory said, "Oh, you backing up? The bitch that's fucking me behind your back." like that. And then that's when they said, this is the defense in court, child, that Kelsey said, well, this ain't the first time she been because she fucked the baby and Ben Simmons behind me. The prosecution said this ain't the first time there was the baby and Ben Simmons. Child, that's when the courtroom, I said, child, what? But they say Megan got out on Sunset Boulevard at the bus stop at 4:30 in the morning in a bikini with no shoes, and that Tory, the one, had to get her back in the car. Okay. And then they said that Kelsey and Megan was arguing and that Jaquan and them was taking them home. Kelsey and Megan arguing now. And so they jumped to the witness and said that the witness, Mr. Kelly, saw Kelsey attacking Megan. And now they said security stepped in to stop the fight. The muzzle flash went off closer to Kelsey. He said, I heard a loud arguing. And so I went on my balcony and then shit started popping off. For Kelsey to allegedly tell the people that or they put it like she was, that she said that she got attacked by Tory, he beat her up. Kelsey had no injury.
They said Tory punched Kelsey in the face, grabbed her, this and third.
They said that Kelsey's statement was he grabbed my hair and got physical, but she didn't really remember what all he did. So I guess she was supposed to be so drunk she didn't remember. But she said that he had pulled her hair and hit her, like hit her upside the head or some shit. But they got pictures from her at the station immediately after. There was some blood on her leg and a little scratch, and her shirt, she had a tank top or a little bikini or whatever, it was ripped. And they said, did y'all ever ask her how that happened? No. Did y'all ask her about the cuts on her body? No. These are cops on the stand.
Was there any bruising on her face? Was there any bruising on her face?
Not a hair out of place and no bruising on her face. But Tory walked up to you and pulled your hair. And she had her hair pulled back at the top and down right here. Had he grabbed that bitch head right here, it would have been tussled. Like it would have been fucked up. It wasn't. When she took her police pictures, that bitch could have been going to the club. She looked fine. And then they did bring up that Megan said her back was turned. He said Megan said she was walking behind the car. How he shoot her over the door? Then they say Megan say her back was turned. So how the fuck did anything else happen? Like what the hell going on? They argued the fact that it was dark. It was all. And then if your back was turned, what was your proximity to Kelsey? How did she get this gunshot residue? Like her story, they have already laid out a foundation that shows her story don't make sense. That they slipped it in that there was a sexual relationship and kept on going like they hadn't said nothing. And let me tell you something. They said after the Gayle, Megan lied to her team because they said that after the Gayle interview, prosecutors went back to Megan and said, okay, now what's all this chitter chatter? Like, was there a sexual relationship? And that's when she tested.
Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
So the defense said, she lied for how long about that? How many years did she lie and say they didn't have a sexual relationship? Only for it to have been true? What else she lied about? And I want to highlight again, there were 3 people tested, but 4 DNA contributions. Tory's DNA, like you had said, was inconclusive. They brought it up and said it in black and white. No DNA on the magazine and inconclusive on the gun itself. So the defense absolutely backed up academics' claims that, no, you cannot tie that weapon to him via DNA evidence. No.